Coming up on today's show, it is day 2 of the NFL Draft, and we have a post-round 1 Bears mock draft. Plus, we'll take a look at some of the top players remaining for day 2. And what a day 1 it was for Chicago as they pulled in Caleb Williams from USC and Odunze from Washington. The QB wide receiver combo, they flew to Chicago together today as they're going to speak to the media this afternoon. I mean, what a night it was, and we were partying here on Chicago Bears now, but there's still work to be done. The Bears have picked 75 in the 3rd round today. No second-round pick as of now. I'd be kind of surprised if they dipped into round 2, but you never know. And then pick 122 in round 4, which would be on day 3. That's all they have for now. We'll see if that changes. But again, last night was a party. Rolly and I were having a blast. Shout out to producer Cullen, who stepped in later in the show as well. We went nuts for Caleb Williams and Odunze. And hey, if you want to represent Caleb Williams, the most sold jersey in player history through Fanatics last night, get in on the action. Pre-order the jerseys. They're going to be backlogged a little bit, but you'll get them well before the season starts. Chatsports.com/Caleb. We got the navy, the whites, the oranges. They're all available. There's also a women's jersey in there at that link as well. Chatsports.com/Caleb. You can get a Odunze jersey as well. Chatsports.com/Rome. By the way, how about Odunze rocking 15? The last notable receiver to rock 15 in Chicago, Brandon Marshall. Those were fun days. Chatsports.com/Caleb. Chatsports.com/Rome. Get your jerseys pre-ordered today. Those links are in the comments and in the description of this video. All right, I'm going to trade down from 75. I did this in my final mock as well, which so far so good. I got Caleb and Rome in our final mock. Number 1 pick was easy, but Rome falling to 9, that was sweet. So trade down to 82 with the Colts, pick up 117 as well as they get 75. And I'm going to take one of Odunze's college teammates, Bralen Trice, the edge out of Washington, who I think is being slept on a little bit. We're higher on him here at Chat Sports in our Big Board rankings. Dame Brugler's got him in the 70s or 80s. I think it would be a steal if he fell to this point in the draft. Very productive pass rusher the last couple of years, 16 sacks. He kind of did a weird thing where he played like in the 260s, close to 270 at Washington, and then he tried to shed like 25 pounds for the combine to test well. Then he didn't test that well, so I think he's one of those guys where like he's not going to be an RAS score warrior, but he just knows how to rush the quarterback. You watch him play. His pass rush win rate was 18% at Washington last year, and at this point, your defensive line pass rushers, that is easily your biggest need on this roster. You could certainly add onto the offensive line, but I think the rest of your position groups are pretty set offensively. You could get another tight end, of course, but you're pretty good at receiver now, obviously. I'd like to get a pass rusher, even if it's a developmental guy, but I think this guy's pretty developed. Like, I don't think he's ever going to be an all-pro, but I think he's a guy who could be a 6 to 8 sack guy in the NFL pretty consistently. Maybe not as a rookie, but certainly down the road. Now, should the Bears trade down from 75 to try and add at least an extra pick? What say you? Type Y for yes, type N for no. I'd like to see it as long as you're not moving back crazy far. Move back 5, 10, 12 spots, pick up a 4th or something like that, and, settle on that for the rest of the draft. How about round 4, pick 117, the extra pick we picked up from Indianapolis? Hunter Nourzad, the center out of Penn State. This guy was rising in the latter part of the pre-draft process. He's a fun player, man, and he's a very versatile player as well, which I really, really like, and I think the Bears would value too. And I think you could bring him in here. He could kind of redshirt for you. Don't have to play him right away, but then he's got potential to be your starting center long-term for the Chicago Bears. And what I like about Nourzad is he played all over Penn State's offensive line over the past couple of years. This past season, he was their starting center full-time. But in 2022, he played at left guard, played a few snaps at center and right guard as well. But then also in 2021, he played both tackle spots. He played 458 snaps at right tackle, as you see on screen right here, 170 at left tackle, moves inside in 22 to guard mostly, center last year, so he's played all over. I don't think you'd want to play him at tackle in the NFL. His arms are under 33 inches long, but in a pinch, if he had to, he's got that experience. So I like this. I think day 3, 4th round, good value for Nourzad, developmental center that could be a starter in 2025. All right, we're going to be back live tonight at 6 o'clock Eastern, 5 Central Time. Rolly and I will get you ready for day 2, and which starts at 7 Eastern, 6 Central. Bears don't pick till 75. We'll see if that changes. We'll see if they move up at all. But we'll have pick-by-pick analysis throughout tonight, and we'll have some fun with all of you as well. So be sure to subscribe and join us for a fun day 2. All right, final pick of my post-round 1 mock is DeWayne Carter, the defensive tackle out of Duke. And this is an interesting player because I think had he come out last year, he might have been a second or third round guy, but he goes back to Duke and didn't have his best year. You know, you look at his last 3 seasons, 5-year college player, by the way, 21 and 22. He was really good, man. I mean, he had 10 sacks for an interior guy, almost 20 TFLs those 2 years. This year, not as productive. You wonder why that was. Was it a scheme change? They asked him to do different stuff. Who knows? But if he can get back to being that player he was, especially in 2022, that was his best season by far in college. I think you've got something here, potentially a starter down the road, but for sure a guy who can rotate in and give you some snaps. Ike probably projects more as a 3-tech, but he could play a little bit of nose too as well. Put him in the rotation. Matt Eberflus likes to rotate on that defensive line a lot. You get 2 defensive linemen in the 3rd and in the 4th round here with Bralen, Trice, and DeWayne Carter to help out that front 4. So there you go. Small trade down to pick up an extra pick. Trice, Hunter Nourzad, Carter, all trenches picks. I think that's an area I would like to go here for the rest of this draft. Again, right now the Bears only have 2 picks, but we will see how the rest of it all shakes out. Did we just want to take a look at some of the best players available per Tom Downey's big board, our NFL draft analyst, Johnny Newton, jer'zhan Newton, still out there. I mean, I wonder how far he'd have to slip for the Bears to consider moving up. I got to think he's going to go pretty early today. Jackson Powers-Johnson, the Oregon center. You got Kool-Aid McKinstry, Lab McConkey, Cooper DeJean as well. A.D. Mitchell, the Bears aren't going to go receiver, I don't think, but that's an interesting name. Kingsley Suamataia, I wonder how far he'd have to go if the Bears would consider moving up for a young tackle. Zach Frazier's an interesting guy. That's still out there as well. Cooper Beebe, a name to monitor right there, the guard out of Kansas State. I like him a lot. We mentioned Bralen Trice. We're higher on him, 45 on our big board, but a lot of these mock drafts, these simulators have him going round 3, which would be great for the Bears because they're picking at 75. Keep an eye on Braden Fisk as well, the defensive tackle out of Florida State. All right. There you have it. They are post-round 1 mock and some day 2 draft targets, players to monitor. Name a player you want the Bears to draft today. I want to hear it from you guys right now in the comments section. And just a reminder as we get out of here, go pre-order those jerseys. They're available. Chatsports.com/Caleb. They're available in navy, white, and orange to pre-order. Got Odunze so far available in the navy. If they become available in white and orange, we'll share that information as well. Chatsports.com/Rome for him. Links are in the description and comments of this video. Bear down. We'll see you tonight.